Thank you, Toastmaster. Day before I start, I would like to confirm with the timer the signals that is going to show because I had requested for a particular pattern so that
I got
I don't overshoot. Can you
I
please tell me and tell the audience how you're going to time me?
yeah. For the session keynote address, at the end of 12 minutes green, at the end of 16 minutes amber, at the end of 20 minutes red. For the Q&A session, at the end of 3 minutes green, 4 minutes amber, and 5 minutes red
And we also buffer
of
few
3 minutes.
minutes.
Yep.
Yeah. So because originally it had given me 25 or 30 minutes. So let me see. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, DTM George Thomas, for that effusive and efficacious introduction. The more you praise and celebrate your life, the more there is in life to celebrate. So said Oprah Winfrey. Dear Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, and the huge band of esteemed guests have gathered from all over. Anniversaries are great occasions for celebration in the life of an individual or an institution. The 14th anniversary of this great club calls for great jubilation. That I am part of the celebration is a matter of great joy and pride. Picking me to be the keynote speaker today is a singular honor, and I believe a magnanimous gesture on the part of the president and his team. Having been a chartered member of this club who spent the best part of his Toastmaster journey here, let me at the outset acknowledge with gratitude that I am what I am today, mainly because of the positive impact of my mentors and veteran Toastmasters of this club. They personified the essence of Toastmaster spirit and built the KTM into a pace-setting and vibrant club in Oman and in the district and beyond. 14th anniversary is definitely a singular milestone for all of us here. A time to look back with a sense of pride and achievement at all the accolades the club has garnered over these wonderful years. It's also a time for introspection and resolutions to move forward with renewed zeal, efficaciousness, optimism, and determination to conquer new frontiers and scale new peaks as a club that upholds the Toastmaster vision and ideals in letter and spirit. I'm here today to share my perceptions and nostalgic reminiscence of the positive impact of KTM in nurturing the leadership and communication skills of members like me and transforming our personality. I believe that will warm the hearts of the seasoned members who are still associated with KTM and inspire and stimulate and reassure new members that they have made the right choice to be here in their program of self-development as leaders and communicators. They would also be able to understand and appreciate the rich legacy that Kimchi Toastmasters has established over the years. Now, mentoring has been the pillar of strength here. That supports reflects the supportive and positive learning experience, the aspect of club mission we all repeated in the beginning, supportive and positive learning experience. Yes. Right from its inception, KTM was fortunate to have a healthy blend of experienced leaders and enthusiastic youngsters from different walks of life. It is their collective contribution and positive collaboration that help the club to grow in stature and produce leaders in communication of high caliber. This explains the club's enviable track record of achievements and accolades right from the first year. It set a benchmark for other clubs to scale greater heights. Speaking for myself, I had the benefit of being mentored by the chartered president of this club, who continues to be a reliable mentor and trusted friend after all these years. Our ongoing mentor mentee relationship is based on mutual respect and cordiality. You know who I'm referring to. None other than DTM George Thomas, the MC for today. He heads, in fact, a list of senior and committed members like DTM Sri Kumar Pai, Toastmasters 9 and Thomas, and many more who were there to guide the new members. My mentors quickly spotted my interest, speaking for myself, in enhancing my communication skills and encouraged me to present quality project speeches and take up meeting roles in an efficacious and competent manner. They also encouraged me to have a go at speech contests from the early stage and gradually come home with awards right up to the district level. But my mentors didn't stop there. They persuaded me to take leadership roles at different levels to ensure that I would be a complete Toastmaster. Let me just mention two highlights of my exciting Toastmaster journey: becoming DTM in about 4.5 years and an early district level pathway ambassador. More than these, I acknowledge with gratitude their guidance and affectionate care that helped me to transform myself into a well balanced and empathetic human being. I am certain that many others here would have similar stories of success to narrate. Following the examples set by my mentors, I too mentored others who went on to excel as leaders and communicators. And I attribute primarily to the culture of positive and dedicated mentoring that KTM established right from day one, in keeping with the true spirit of Toastmaster International. Just one example I would mention. I particularly recall the spectacular progress made by DTM Praveen Panikar. I hope he is among the crowd. A natural reader in his Kerala engineering circle, but initially a bit diffident about his public speaking. Remarkable progress in a very short time. Another aspect of KTM has been the vibrant evaluation, which is a vital cog in the Toastmaster education program. And the club put in place the best practices we associate in this vital aspect. It is carried out with great care and finesse in KTM. Again, to the team of our experienced and objective Toastmasters who provided comprehensive and encouraging feedback that contributed to the overall quality of speeches and role plays. New members had the privilege of getting the best kind of evaluation from multiple sources. We utilized a printed feedback form where every attendee could comment on the performance of the speakers and other role players. Senior members made it a point to offer their supporting comments. Apart from the official evaluator assigned, I'm talking of that. And especially for those who came up with the icebreaker and the other early projects. You know, this helped many of us to put in that extra effort to come up with significant and better future speeches that would set a benchmark for others. If you're working on a contest beyond the club level, the supportive feedback you received was fabulous. Unlike most clubs who look for outside expertise in this area, our team of veterans helped to firmly establish the TMI motto, evaluate to motivate. The likes of Toastmaster Nine and Thomas reveled in carrying out this challenging responsibility week after week with admirable efficaciousness, thus proving as invaluable asset to the club. On a lighter side, I was pleasantly surprised to see today Toastmaster Nainen donning the mantle of a speaker. And a mentee of mine, DTM Shamala, as his evaluator. That was an unusual sign or sight in KTM because Nainen was there always at the other side of the table. The magnificent KTM family has been a close-knit one. That's another beautiful aspect of this. The camaraderie and bonding of our members have been quite exemplary. And it has gone one step further by taking it to its fold, the extended family, the spouses and the kids, who are always made to feel welcome. They too get involved in special occasions and milestone events. The special outing like picnics and yoga classes, thanks to our yoga guru, DTM Govindegi, who is also here with us, contributed to the heartening bonhomie among the Toastmasters and the family members. They too contributed their talents and time to add color to the special events that were normally, followed by a sumptuous dinner, because we miss all that in this online era. But that's the KTM magic for you. We had a good blend of members from all walks of life and profession, and a few non-Indian nationalities on the club roster lend an international flavor and cultural splendor to the club. I can recall members of Sri Lankan, Pakistani, and Sudanese origin, and some of us are there today with us, who integrated so seamlessly with others, testifying to the genuine international texture of Toastmasters. And another thing that I would like to mention is KTM has been a fertile nursery for leaders, living up to the Toastmaster tagline, where leaders are made. Many of our star leaders have started out as Sergeant at Arms. I'm sure some of you will agree with me. DTM Jinachandran, for example, I clearly remember. And went on to don the highest levels in district level. Coming to think of it, Sergeant at Arms is the seventh position in the club officer hierarchy. And it involves the most onerous responsibility, especially during conventional meetings. By the way, this is a rare post. A few days ago, a senior Toastmaster shared the information that DTM Deepak Menon, past international president, after completing that tenure, took up the post of Sergeant at Arms at a Toastmaster club in Delhi. I just heard that. That's really something. And when we think of DTM Sri Kumar, how can we forget the Gavel Club? This club had a great commitment towards the children. And it's the clear vision of our leaders, led by DTM Sri Kumar, who led to the founding of Kimji Gavel Club. And later, numerous others followed. And many of our own kids had the privilege of being nurtured into outstanding youth leaders and speakers who would make a mark in their chosen profession and future. Now, this is something the club and its leaders can be legitimately proud of. What about the newsletter KT musings that the club brings out periodically. It's a testimony of the creative and innovative streak of the members and the editorial team. I too had the privilege to be associated with this venture for some time, and I still treasure the back numbers that captured the essence of a great club in action, constantly adding new feathers to its cap. And it also highlighted the achievements and talents of its members and family. I can go on and on. But let me just refer to one special farewell session that was organized by this great club for me as a farewell, dedicated to my farewell from Oman after I served here for nearly 30 years as an English language professor. The warm expression of love and respect that resounded in that meeting still lingers in my mind. I vividly recall the innovative table topic session, and the topic master was none other than your current president, DTM Pradeep. You know what he did? He came out with title-like topics, and which really floored some of the speakers. Don't judge a book by its cover. Silence is not always golden. Living in glass houses, and so it caught everyone by surprise, including me. And then, towards the end of the session, end of his segment, the topic master let the cat out of the bag. You know what these were? They were all topics drawn from titles of my weekly articles of Oman Daily Observer. That was a unique tribute that he paid to me as a fellow Toastmaster and a freelance columnist. Hats off to you, sir, and thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Kimchi Toastmasters for you. The paths that we have traveled and the peaks conquered by KTM in the past 14 years have been numerous, and the club has grown in stature and acclaim. But do you think it was a bed of roses all the way? No. The club has taken these challenges, including the current COVID crisis and the limitations of online session in its stride, and emerged with greater resilience and sense of purpose. That's my strong belief, because I've attended sessions on and off during this online era. Let me just finish off with a small twist to the KTM story. Let me wind up this one of its kind keynote address, I believe, where the speaker shares his common experience with the audience. I left KTM, Kimchi Toastmasters, in December 2017, but believe it or not, I continued to be an official member of KTM. But some of you will know this KTM stands for Kerala Toastmasters, both abbreviated as KTM. This again is an equally vibrant club with its own rich legacy. I've just completed a highly fruitful tenure as its president. Ladies and gentlemen, on the stupendous occasion of the 14th anniversary of this wonderful club, let me once again congratulate you and wish you all great future in your continued pursuit of excellence, in allegiance to the mission of Toastmasters and loyalty to this pioneer club called KTM. I exhort you to uphold the wonderful legacy that you have inherited over the years and scale new heights in your professional, Toastmaster, and personal life. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Dani.
What an efficacious speech it is. Thank you very much, Dr.
Sir, we have 5 minutes, I think, for question answer, but I don't know what kind of questions you can ask on this kind of it's not a technical topic. I just shared my ideas, but still, let's see if you have any questions. At question time, you can unmute and ask. or maybe share a parallel view or something like that. We have just 5 minutes allotted. So first come, first serve. You can ask questions, and at the end of three.
Rajan, sir, this is Pradeep over here. Thanks
Yeah.
for the wonderful presentation. You have been a Toastmaster for almost right now more than a decade. And
Yeah.
has there any drastic change in the communication way we communicate that has taken place when many things around us has changed in this period of time?
The main shift has, of course, been in the educational system itself, because I was involved in when this whole thing was formulated, revitalized education program, it was called initially, and then they changed the name to Pathway. So the way these project speeches are conducted, the way these are structured, different levels, it's been a remarkable change, keeping with the needs of the modern times and the kind of projects you get. There are always old timers who feel little unhappy with the new system, but you don't have a choice. And Toastmasters is a dynamic organization that keeps moving with the times. And if you really go through the Pathway program, you'll find wonderful opportunities for every member to do what is best suited to him or her professional needs, personal needs. It's a wonderful change. And so the mode of preparing for project speeches, the mode of planning, developing your communication skill has changed drastically. But the basic philosophy, the core principles remain the same. And that's why we are still able to coordinate. Though we live in a digital age, though the projects are digital in nature, the human element continues to be the same. That's why I think Toastmasters still remains a great and wonderful organization for all of us. Any other question or thought? Sriraman, sir? Yeah.
Doctor, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You had a career spanning 30 years, out of which 10 years you spent in Toastmasters, which means you, as an English language lecturer, had 20 years of experience before you joined Toastmasters.
Yeah.
And I would take the liberty of saying that you were already a proficient speaker before you joined Toastmasters. So what did Toastmasters do to you, an already accomplished speaker?
Well, anyway, thank you for granting that I was an accomplished speaker. I'm not really an accomplished speaker, but I was good at public speaking. I used to train my students to do public speaking. And so your question was posed to me on several occasions by different people. But still, DTM George Thomas convinced me that I need to join Toastmasters to hone my skills, sharpen my communication skills. And I can also say that it did make a great difference. Though I was okay, I think the whole perspective changed. I became a better trainer, better communicator, and more importantly, a better human being. Because I was a very introvert person before I joined Toastmasters. And that was a permanent complaint from my wife too. But once I joined Toastmasters and gradually things changed. I used to appreciate my kids. They used to do well, but I loved them. But I never expressed vocally, verbally. But all that changed once I came in, because this is the only place where even when you perform badly and give a poor speech, you get a big round of applause. Where else can you get such things? So this made me feel that we must compliment liberally and generously in public. And any critical points, we must inform them in private. This philosophy also I learned from Toastmasters, and thereafter, at every opportunity, I complimented my wife's cooking. She was already an excellent cook, but I never did that earlier vocally. I always appreciated her in my heart of hearts, and it makes a difference. Yes.
you.
Great question, because it's a common question put to me.
More than what Dr. Rajan Phillips benefited, but the Toastmasters community in Muscat benefited because of your presence in Toastmasters.
Thank you, sir. Guru Rajan also. Thank you for joining the meeting. You have been always an admirer, friend, and philosopher, guide. You have made your mark in Muscat, but still, he is so generous to compliment others. That's again part of Toastmaster culture. Thank you for that. Anybody
DTM,
else?
okay, I think the time is up.
Yeah, just last question.
I can ask a question. So how
No,
do
Dr.
you...
Rajan, I just want to add that
Okay, please.
Toastmasters, we are having the mutually supportive role,
Yeah.
which means though you are already having the experience of public speaking and you came into a structured and defined way how it is to be done, all those things for the Toastmasters. But you have contributed your skills quite a lot to the members, especially in the language. So that is what the mutually supportive host. So the people outside who think they are at the peak also should join the Toastmasters so that they can impart their knowledge and skill to the lesser privileged who are in the Toastmasters. Thank you.
That's going too far, Nayan, sir, but it's not really so. I may have contributed in terms of language, but I have gained so much. Who would tell me about the way explosives work and how that can be applied to Toastmaster speech? The way you should start with a bang, finish with a bang. Only you can set that example coming from your background, you see? And each one, the kind of professions that we had in our club, we learned so much from the financial people, other things. It has been a continuous process of learning from each other. And I hats off to the youngsters who join, even in the current club I'm a member. They have digital skills which are simply beyond our comprehension, but they are so patient enough to take us along. So it's not that we provide all the learning, they provide a lot of learning to us. Even my students, I believe, they teach me a lot every day. And that's the spirit of Toastmasters, which helps us to learn so much in so little time, without any fee, without any ego problems and all that. That's the real strength of Toastmasters. I think that's all time. And if there is time after the official closing, maybe we'll chat for a while for those who can hang around. It's already bedtime for us here. So with that, thank you once again for the big crowd that has joined from across the world. And back to you, Toastmaster of the day. But let me read out a quote, finishing message. I should share it with you. Celebrate what you accomplish, but raise the bar a little higher each time you succeed. I'll repeat. Celebrate what you accomplish, but raise the bar a little higher each time you succeed. Back to you, Toastmaster.